All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mevo Live. My name is Will Kirkpatrick, and I'm a Senior Technical Specialist here at Mevo. I am joined today by the one and only Joe Mevo.
I'm excited to be back on the live show. It's been so busy and crazy these days.
It definitely has been lots and lots going on. So let's talk about our setups. You're clearly in a different spot. Let me talk about mine real quick. So I am using the same sort of setup that I typically use for our shows. I've found that it works really well. And so, once you get it working well, I think it's best to try not to mess with it too much. So I am using the Mevo Start, which is connected to my network using the Power over Ethernet adapter. And then it is sending that to my computer that's running OBS via NDI. And then for audio, I'm using this blue baby bottle microphone, which is connected to an M audio mixer, and then back out to my Mevo Start using 3.5 millimeter TRS cable.
And for me, I'm using. Looks like we do have some audio issues. It says they're having some significant. As you said, we don't like to change things up because it breaks things. I know for sure.
Yeah.
I am absolutely probably part of this problem because I am in a different location. So I am probably 100% the cause of this. And if it continues, and maybe I have to drop off to make things better, we'll see. But I am using this Logitech G377 or 733. I don't. What is it called? Let me pull her up. I've got this G733 gaming headset. It's
Yeah.
a wireless USB headset, and for my camera, obviously, I've got my Mevo going on, and I'm running wirelessly on a new mesh network I just set up. So that is probably why I'm delayed. But they said we both may be delayed. So well, we'll have to play with it throughout the show. We're not going to stop the show to really troubleshoot, but we'll get into it and see what we can figure out while we're going.
Yeah, definitely keep us updated. Is the audio out of sync? Where are you seeing the delay? All right. So, as always, we are going to answer all of your questions that you have regarding Mevo or just live streaming in general. And of course, as always, your chat matters, your questions matter, both, for the content of the show, but also we are doing giveaways every couple of weeks. So if you're interested in winning a free start, the more you chat, the better opportunity you have to win a free Mevo start. So that's pretty great.
Yeah, for sure. And I know we did talk about. I kind of came out of nowhere and threw Joseph off on Tuesday, but we do have another giveaway that's going to happen next Thursday. I want to give everyone the opportunity. If you're not part of the Facebook group, go to the Mevo customer group, and send us a picture of you in a costume and doing anything to represent Mevo, whether you're holding the Mevo in costume. And we'll do a community poll. I need the submissions by Sunday. We'll start a poll for the community to vote on best costume, and we will also give away a second Mevo on that Thursday show next week.
Nice. I'm excited
Yeah,
to see
hopefully we
those.
get some submissions. So far, nothing. So I'm just kind of like, I'm a little disappointed, but you know what? If no one wants to take advantage of a Mevo, then what can you do?
Come on, guys. You don't want to miss out. Okay. So, a very good first question is, Joe, how are you doing that cool bokeh?
This is being handled with. So if you're using webcam mode, wherever you're using it, so whether it's, I know Google Meets has it, Zoom has it, and we're using Skype. I can just add it's a digital effect. It's not something being done with the Mevo itself. It takes the camera, just like any traditional webcam, and it's blurring out the background. So you can see it's not perfect. So if I was using a green screen, somewhat like Will's got over there, you would probably still see my headset here. But since I'm not, let me see if I can try to. My headphones is actually getting blurred out. So the software is not perfect, but it does give a pretty cool effect, and I don't have to worry about what's in my background. So it's just that's key here.
The little
Yeah,
tricks, man. It's all about the little
absolutely.
tricks. Yeah, you can also do this. We're using Skype now, like Joe said, but you can also do this on your computer if you have a Windows computer that's running an Nvidia graphics card. Nvidia has software called Nvidia Broadcast, where it will allow you to, even without a green screen, add a bokeh effect or any kind of other background. It just does it using AI or machine learning or something like that, which is
Yep,
pretty impressive.
for sure.
Okay. So cool. So it looks like we're seeing some people that are saying it looks good. So if you're seeing any kind of delay, you may need to change your stream resolution to a lower bandwidth
Yeah, or
requirement.
just sometimes just refreshing the page can kind of help too. I've run into issues.
Yeah.
Mostly that issue is usually a Facebook issue, but it sounds like if you might be on YouTube, you could probably do the same thing, just to kind of reset everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Never hurts. All right. Underdog TV says, when are you guys going to get a Mevo to import video clips as part of a slideshow? So a video slideshow. So right now you can only do that when it's connected to your computer. You can do that in OBS. But in terms of using it through the Mevo apps, we don't know. We don't know. That would be really cool to add
Yeah,
for sure.
I haven't seen anything, any kind of timelines or anything crazy to give more of indication of when that will be introduced. But picture-in-picture and video playback and things like that have all been somewhat discussed and posted and announced on Mevo.com through Multicam at least. So those things will be coming. Unfortunately, if you've been around long enough, you probably know we don't really do dates. We don't really give dates. We give generic answers like soon, and then when we do actually get soon, we'll be like very soon. We try to keep it very vague, and the reason is because we don't want to release anything that's half baked. We want to make sure that everything's ready to go. It's pristine. It's working well. The last thing we want to do, even if we think it's good to go, and then next week we run into a bug or something, we're not going to release it until it's ready. So
Yeah.
I would say it's almost a benefit of the way that we handle things, rather than rushing something out simply because people want it and it not work the way you want it to work, and it causes more issues than solutions.
Yeah. Live streaming is not a forgiving industry, so we want to make sure you're not missing your live streams that you're streaming. We don't want them to
Absolutely.
fail. Okay. What is the limitation on file size for graphics, or is there a limitation? That's an interesting question. I don't think that there is a limitation. There's a limitation for
Mm.
resolution, but I don't think for file
Yeah.
size.
Yeah. No. I'm almost positive file size is fine. It's just you're limited to the size of the SD card. So, and if you're a multicam, then you're limited to the
Yep.
size of the storage on the device. So, but of course, when it comes to like slideshows, you're limited to 50 slides, not necessarily a size thing, but a slides quantity thing. Um, Other than that, I don't believe I've never seen it in my time here, so I've never seen it pop up as being an issue.
What would the best way to wire my Mevos to my computer so I can use them with OBS, considering that they are 20 to 30 feet away from my computer? So the only way to hardwire your Mevos at that distance is via Ethernet and then using NDI in OBS. So you need the NDI tools and the OBS NDI to
Yep.
OBS plugin. That's right. Let's see. Jared says, can we also do the digital effect in OBS? You can using the Nvidia
I think
Broadcast
he's saying
tool.
you can actually do it in OBS
And
itself.
oh, you
Yeah,
can do
I
it
think
in
it's got
OBS?
effects. I
Nice.
think it's
I haven't
similar
seen that.
to how we do, like noise suppression in OBS. I think they've got effects for video just like they do
Oh,
for the
okay.
audio. Just haven't played with it.
Nice. Good call. How are we able to see and read everyone's comments in chat?
Yeah,
You want to
so
take that one?
we use Restream, the chat app, and it outputs to a web browser and then using OBS, whether I think Will uses Streamlabs or regular OBS. Either way, either or, you can embed a browser and as a source, and that's how you're seeing these. And that's also what we use to track participation for shows and for the contest. So the top 10 participants from each show are directly pulled from Restream, and we throw them in our little spinner, and that's how we get our giveaway. So lots of really cool tools from Restream, and it's really good for analytics. We go to 3 different locations at once, and that's really the big win. Everything else has been kind of just extra, but we like to get our analytics a lot easier than having to go to each destination and pull out or try to find out like what analytic looks like what. They've already done it for you, so it's really cool.
Let's see. Jared says, any way we can play an audio clip on a mobile device from Mevo Mic app through the live stream on a Mevo during the countdown or something like that? Yeah, so you could do that by sending audio to that Mevo Mic device either from another phone, a tablet, a computer. I've done it using a tablet in the Multicam show in the past, and so you have lots of options of sending audio like music to the Mevo Mic
You just
app.
can't use the same device that's running the app. So like if you're playing audio on the device also running the Mevo Mic app, you can't do that. So one's got to be running the app, the other one's got to be the audio source, and it'll send it there, and that'll broadcast it out.
Yep. What's up, Gordon from Arkansas? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Norman says, I just want to say how awesome it is that OBS offers their software for free. I agree. I think so too. And it's really nice that it is something that is open source and can be used by lots of different individual developers as well.
Absolutely.
Ryan says, hello, gang. It's me.
Good
to see you.
Answer.
The guy with all of the wrong answers.
Did I miss something?
Nice.
I've been listening to the shows. I haven't been watching chat too much lately, though. I wonder why he's wrong.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. That's
I don't know. I gave you my secret about how I'm never wrong.
That's true. That's true. Joe is never wrong.
I just misunderstood.
So, if you didn't know this before,
yep.
You know this now.
Yep.
Jonathan says, is there a beta test group? There is not. I mean, we do have, I guess, the wireless webcam beta test group.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then Nate handles he's the software product manager here, and occasionally he will, post applications or post links for people to sign up for our betas. So just keep an eye out in our groups. That's the number one way to, identify. That's kind of like we were talking about it, kind of within our. We were talking about it in our Slack channel. Like we should have a landing page for the different types of tests. Maybe that's another thing. Like we have our user tests, and then we could also have like open beta tests. We should have a landing page for all of that stuff. Yeah, we're just coming up with ideas on the fly. Look at that.
Always. All right. Let's see. What is the best hotspot, or do you use a booster? So I think it varies. I've seen lots of people doing different things. I think Netgear and Nighthawk is a pretty popular one.
Yep.
If you can go for a 5G hotspot, I would definitely use 5G over 4G or LTE. But as for specific model, yeah, I've seen the Netgear Nighthawk, the MiFi. And if you want to get really good range, you can use an actual home Wi-Fi hub. So that's another good way to go. Here's another Restream question. David says, is the chat included in basic Restream, or is it an extra cost?
No idea. I really have no clue.
You're the Restream guy. I'm pretty sure that it's in basic Restream.
I have no idea. I don't think analytics are. Maybe chat might be.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Restream, we're not just to be as clear as day. We're not at all affiliated with Restream. We enjoy their
Yeah,
service, and it's we could use Vimeo for specific things, and then we could use Restream for others. But it made sense for like the way that we do our live shows to use Restream, because sometimes we're doing it from the Mevo app, and then sometimes we're doing them via desktop. And producer doesn't really work on desktop. You would need premium, which we do have, but it didn't make sense for us to switch our methods around. Figure just kind of stick with one thing, and it's nice to just once again have analytics in one spot. So can't really speak on Restream's behalf. We're not affiliated, but we do like the service that they provide.
definitely. All right, let's take a quick second to talk about our other shows. All right, we have shows on Tuesday and Thursday every week at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Tuesdays, we have our Ask Mevo Anything show, and this is a show similar to the show that we're doing today, where we answer all of your Mevo questions, but we try and kind of dedicate as much time into answering as many questions as possible on Tuesday. And then Thursday, we try and do a little bit more of a complex setup, but we are also answering your questions, as you can tell. We are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube both days. We also have a referral program that we love talking about because we know how much you guys love talking about the Mevo when you're using it, telling your friends and family all about it. So if you refer a friend to purchase a Mevo on Mevo.com, you'll save them 5% and you'll earn 5% commission. And this is really cool because you can also customize your referral code. So if you have, like a band name, a sports team name, maybe you're a school or a house of worship and you want to have a specific name for your referral, you can do that. So you can check that out on mevo.com/referral. I feel like I've said both of those slides like
Yeah,
a million
and you
times,
always
I
wonder,
think.
like, should I say it again? But it's just like, yeah, you never know when somebody else is back. Like if somebody's new or something.
It's true. It's true. Plus, I hope that we get at some point like 90% of the chatters or higher that have their own referral
Yep,
code. Like, why
agreed.
not? You know? All right, let's jump back into some questions. Norman says, be careful with audio. A lot of streaming sites will cut off your broadcast, and that is absolutely very true. Especially if you're streaming to Facebook. Facebook seems to be a little bit stricter, and also gives you no warnings or
Yeah.
explanation after the fact. They're just kind
You
of
don't you
like,
don't
see you
always
later.
get that
Uh,
you're muted and you can dispute
right.
it. That doesn't always happen. More often than not, they'll just boot you.
Yeah. And they don't even use, or they have an issue with stream beats too, which is specifically designed to be played for live streaming, but Facebook doesn't allow it. So they're very strict. We actually had music on our live show in the very beginning, and we had to get rid of it, which
Yeah.
is very sad.
Yeah, because we would be starting the live show, people would start onboarding, and then next thing you know, it was like,
Right.
oh, now we've got to restart the live show, and then we're panicking because we're streaming to Amazon and we're streaming to all these other locations. And it's just like, what do we do? Like we can't keep and the thing is, it was copyright free too. Like we had all the rights to it,
Yeah.
and it was just they just didn't care. It was heartbreaking. So
So
rude.
rude, man. Yeah. Let's see. Kathy says, does the countdown work on the Multicam app? I can't seem to find it and how to add the countdown. Yes. So the Multicam app does not have countdown. It does not have slides. So both of those things we're hoping to add in the future, but right now they do not have them. Let's see. Reply. Leo says, my church started a new YouTube channel. We're hoping that live stream would build our channel. I got a notice from YouTube that we need 50 subscribers to even our TNP. Is there a
Is
workaround?
Might be new.
I wonder if that's new. Yeah, I haven't seen that before. It might be a matter of time also. I know sometimes Facebook has a limitation where if it's a brand new channel that they won't let you stream for, I don't know, like a week or a month or something like that. But yeah, I haven't seen the 50 subscribers
Yeah.
limitation. But to my knowledge, there's no
Yeah, if they do
workaround.
have that though, please feel free to send us a link so we can make sure we document it somewhere that that's a thing, because that's the first we're hearing of it. So
Yeah.
we'd love to know for sure. I was looking something up. Okay, no, I seen the question about the 3-pack. I know we've got them again and we're shipping them again, but I don't know if the website says they're still back ordered or
Nice.
not. No, they are not. They're back in stock. Yeah.
Nice. Three-pack back in stock. That's pretty
That was
exciting.
what a journey that was.
It really was.
Crazy talk. I think sometimes it's like kind of lost to like the complexities, especially right now. Like we literally like a global logistics nightmare. Like post COVID or not post COVID. Obviously, COVID's still a thing, but you know, so people are
Right.
getting back to work, and logistics right now are just all over the place. So it was an adventure to get those back in stock. So if you are thinking about getting one, grab one because you don't know the next time another batch might arrive.
Yeah. Grab it
Yes.
quickly. Let's see. Jose says we had an update on the Multicam app, question mark. There shouldn't have been one. Was there one
An
this
update,
week? I
I
don't think so.
think
There was last week.
this is like our life now, right? Like I feel like we're gonna have to do research
Yeah.
on Mevo with everything going on to like, keep up. Let me see. Let me go to the Play Store and pull it up.
It's true.
I think it was just the update that because I think Tuesday we had talked about it, or at least I had told Joseph about it, and I think it was literally just
Mm-hmm.
bug fixes. You gotta love the general bug fixes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of do. I know it's not as exciting as a new feature, but for everything to work better and work faster and be more
Yeah.
stable and secure, that's a huge thing. It's like I was talking about earlier, where, live streaming is not a forgiving medium. So having it all work great is pretty big.
Oh, one of my lights just shut off.
All right.
Looking I'm looking in Slack right now to see if I can get the exact notes to see what we've got here. Um.
I'll
Yeah, go
keep
ahead. Sorry.
going. See what you can find. SL Foster says, I need to host a live cooking event using WebEx. I've read to use as a webcam with WebEx, it needs to be hardwired to the laptop. Can you use multiple cameras in this case? So I haven't used WebEx too much, but if you wanted to use multiple cameras, I would recommend bringing them into OBS, whether it's using wired webcam or NDI, and then using OBS's virtual camera in WebEx. That way you can easily switch between all of the cameras. Jared says, what kind of lighting do you guys recommend?
Mine just powered
I
down.
personally use
One of mine.
so not that brand.
No, it's my fault. I didn't charge it. Uh, yeah,
Oh,
so like you
okay.
can set
Yeah,
this, you can stand this thing up. So I've got two on with me right now, and I can stand these straight up, one on each side. This one, oh, this gets bright. So I can just press a button,
that's nice.
and I just put one on each side, and it lights me up. And then I've got this one; it's a little warmer instead of just the plain white. But I know the effects kind of mess.
Yeah, and you can also use the remote to
Yeah,
get
I didn't
different
bring it with
colors
me on the road.
for that one, which is nice.
Shame.
I use a big mix of lights. I use a ring light. I've got a great Lytra light, and I also use Philip Hue lights to kind of get the
Yeah,
different colors.
you know, obviously post acquisition with Logitech, huge fan of the Lytra lights, and like that's a bias opinion. It's extremely biased, but it's, As soon
It's
as I
also
can get
just
my
true.
hands on more, I'm absolutely probably gonna ditch these. Because I mean, these are super
Yeah.
useful, but the integration that Lytra has within Logi C is just kind of like it's just better. Like that's kind of the point, right? That's what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
creating this little family of products that work together really well, and so it's just like yeah, sooner I can get rid of these third party ones, I'm going to do it.
They're also amazingly bright for being very, very
And
small.
accurate.
Like the light, yeah, the one I have right there is a Lytra light, and the actual light itself is like size of like a
Yeah. No, it's
GoPro.
great. Oh, so I
So,
did find the update notes for 1.3.1 for Android. I don't know what iOS is currently on, uh, but it was nothing. It wasn't even bug fixes. We integrated some analytics. That way we can see how many users are using features,
oh, nice.
specific features. So that's basically what it comes down to, tracking how many users use specific features. So yeah. It's how we kind of prioritize changes, right? We
Cool.
prioritize updates and
Yeah.
improvements based on what we see people using.
Yeah, which is a very good way to
Yeah.
go. I'm glad they're doing that. Jose says, "Good morning from LA. What's up? Today I was using the Mevo Start as my deposition, and I ran into a problem where the tablet didn't want to connect to the Mevo. I'm using NDI through Ethernet and connecting the tablet to the Mevo hotspot. It isn't the first time it's happened with different devices. I have to turn everything off and then repeat the same steps, and then it will connect. Any thoughts?" So, if you're using the Mevo, um, in Ethernet mode and connecting to it when it's broadcasting its hotspot. Um, I would make sure that you're fairly close by to, and if you don't have anything like blocking the connection, like physical, like a door or a wall or anything like that. Um, Anything else that I'm not thinking of?
No,
Not
um,
really.
I don't recommend using Mevo Hotspot when you're using local internet or local Wi-Fi or local Ethernet. Just like I would just connect to the same network. That's the best route. If you still run into issues, then a lot of people don't realize this, but you can still hardwire your mobile device too. So, I mean, if you're running into interference that way, you can run your phone or iPad or something via Ethernet as well. And that's for like the complete solution, right? That's like eliminating all of those variables. I haven't been on the show for a very long time, so it feels like I haven't said variables enough. So I might be having to make up for all that.
Nice. Yeah, it's super easy to do that with Android devices, as you can just use USB-C, but you can also do that with
hmm
iPad Pros. The only ones that are kind of more tricky is the iPhone, which needs a Lightning to Ethernet adapter, but
Yeah,
still doable.
yeah. No, I've seen. Oh, I mean, we have a ton of them, a ton of those adapters. I feel like in the office, but Um, yeah, but you just plug it in,
Yeah,
right? And it's not like you have to set anything up. It just switches.
yeah. Sam says, any suggestion on the Mevo Multicam app not starting the live stream on YouTube? Never got the publish now type prompt. So the multicam app to YouTube, you're either going through the API if you have 1,000 subscribers or more, or you're streaming via RTMP. And then, so if you're using RTMP, I would check to make sure that your RTMP information is correct and matches the YouTube Studio RTMP information. Because typically that's the problem, is that the RTMP is just not directly linked.
Yeah, no, that usually is exactly what it is.
Jack says, can I use Ethernet from the Mevos directly to my computer, or do I have to use NDI? So you can not use Ethernet directly to the computer.
Yeah.
But even if you could, you would still need to use NDI to transfer that audio and video,
Yep.
but you can't. Kathy says, yes, basic chat is included in basic
Nice.
restream. Cool, good to know.
And there's other platforms out there too that allow the same thing. Once again,
Yeah.
like does
Caster.
Caster do chat?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
so. Maybe.
I don't know,
Maybe
but
not.
I know there's a lot of services out there that allow you to grab chat for your stream. So we just use Restream because once again, analytics and chat was just a bonus, a little cherry on top.
Let's see. Norman says, if you use a good Google Wi-Fi mesh network, make sure to turn on WPA3. I couldn't get the camera to connect without it. That's a good tip. I haven't had to turn that on for my own network, and I
just
mesh
installed
network,
a mesh network too, but I might take this one back. I don't know. I might end up going to Eero anyways. I might go pick up Eero and just set it up and then be like, okay, it performed better, and then take whichever one performed worse back.
You went with TP-Link, right?
And it's great. It just, I don't know about the speed drop. I've never seen that with the mesh network. I mean, the Eero mesh network we had set up was we didn't see that.
Is it Wi-Fi 6?
No, it's not. But I mean, even old, like it's gig speed capable. Like it says it on the box, so it's like, I don't know.
I wonder why. Michael Ward says, when will your 3 Mevo camera pack be back in stock? It's in stock. So you heard it here first. All right, let's go down. Would you explain the entry requirements for the giveaway? If I participate, then I get one entry. Do I get one entry, or only the biggest participants for that day get an entry? So everybody, I think, that's chatting gets an entry.
Top 10 participants.
Top 10%.
Top 10%. Top 10
cool.
Participants. 10 people. 10 people per show get added, so a total of 40 people. Provided that one of the 40 people isn't the same person who won last time. And if that's the case, then we remove them. For like, what was like 2 giveaways ago, Fred the Hippo was on there every week, so we had to remove him 4 times. So there was 36 participants.
Michael Ward says, will you expand support for up to 12 cameras in the iPad Pro app? That's a lot of cameras. So right now you can do 3. We would like to add 12 cameras. That would be really great. Something that we talk about a lot on the show is the issue with adding so many cameras is that it's extremely difficult, A, on your network, and B, on the device itself. So there are probably the brand new high-end iPad Pros that could maybe do it. I don't know. It would definitely be a challenge for them. But then, you know, everyone would have to have that top high-end iPad Pro. So yeah, that would be certainly really cool. I would love to see it. Jonathan says, I know you can't say what will be in the app releases, but do you follow the set schedule?
We try to.
Yeah.
We try to. I think it was like, we try to do it before. We try to do it on. I think it's on before Tuesdays. Maybe is what it was. I don't remember, and I think it might have changed.
Yeah.
But it was basically we wanted to do it before we went live. That way, if like something important was happening, we knew about it. So I can tell you this: if something is released and we have to look it up, it's nothing that you probably care to know about that's happening. like otherwise, like we would know about it.
That's a fair point. But yeah, we definitely have a schedule of features and add-ons and all that stuff that we want to put in the apps. So we try
Yeah,
and stick
and
to that.
he's the product man or program manager for software for Mevo is he's got it broken down on like prioritizing. So it's like, this update I want to tackle these things. This update I want to tackle these things. And we're probably like, I don't know. I think he's probably got like 3 or 4 updates pre-planned, but of course these change, and this is why we don't release that information. That those
Right.
things change, the dates change, the priorities change, our resources and our developers change. If we run into bugs, that changes things. So that's why like none of that data is going to be publicized, because we just want to make sure like we don't want anybody to purchase something because of a specific date and then turn around and us not meet that date, and then then it's like, well, I bought this because you said it was going to come out on this day, and it's like, we want people to purchase the camera for what it can do now, and then all of the cool stuff that's coming in the future. Look forward to it, but I don't want anybody to regret purchasing something and then delaying updates and stuff like that.
Yeah. 100%. Let's see. Ben says, I have not heard about that subscriber limit that will potentially shut our church stream down. Yeah. I think a lot of people have under 50 subscribers on YouTube. So I'd be very interested to see if anybody finds out more information about that, because I have
Yeah,
not heard
our
that.
chat, like if that's real, our tickets would have been blowing up right now.
That's true.
So,
That's a good point.
if you guys don't know, basically any kind of major change, like for example, when Facebook went from 720 to 1080 and then back to 720, or when Facebook is down, or the Mevo or Apple's down, or Google's down, or somebody has a server problem, and our tickets explode because they don't typically update our users on what's happening. All they know is like the Mevo app doesn't work. Like I remember the great
Yeah.
the great outage for iOS. Like it was it February last year? It was I think I don't remember, but basically every
Maybe.
major application that used Facebook login for iOS crashed on opening, because
Oh,
basically yeah,
what a
the
nightmare.
API for Facebook login is required to load when the app loads. So I remember when you were opening up the app, it would come up and then crash. And it was like every major app, like, like the Bet King stuff and like Spotify and, those big names like Walmart, like Best Buy, like everybody was crashing. And we were just like, what's happening? And we just went to I just went to Twitter, because Twitter will tell you before anything. I just typed in iOS and literally
Right.
like hundreds of updates saying, yeah, I can't do it in these apps. And if you go to like, is this down? It was just like a giant spike. It was just like crazy. It
Sounds like a
was.
nightmare.
It was a nightmare. We got here.
Sam says, does the Multicam app allow you to record to the device running the app and to the SD cards in the Mevo cam? Yes, you can record onto the device and use ISO recordings to record onto the SD cards. And you can do both of those at
Yes,
once.
absolutely.
Let's see. Jack says, what's the difference between connecting Mevo cameras with NDI versus connecting Mevos to Multicam if they both connect over a network? So the Multicam app does not use NDI. NDI is a protocol completely separate than what the Multicam app uses. So it's two very different things. So
You're
that
killed
would
it.
be the difference.
Yeah, just because something communicates
Thank
over a
you.
network doesn't mean it communicates the same way. There are tons of ports.
Yeah.
Most applications require specific ports to be open. There are specific, like bonjour is required for specific things. Just because it uses a network doesn't mean they communicate the same way. Application. I wish it was that simple, but
Yeah.
if every application used the same exact method to communicate, then the network would just be bogged down like crazy. Yeah,
That would be
it's like,
nice though. I mean, just like the
yeah,
ease of
no,
use.
absolutely. But if you like think about it, it's like It's like New York traffic on steroids. Like trying to get into like the Holland
Yeah.
Tunnel going into New York City, you've got like 6 or 7, 8 lanes, and you're all trying to squeeze in the 2 lanes. Well, like the same thing for these applications. They're all trying to communicate. They're trying to get in and out of your network, but you try to limit it to the same exact like everything would be so slow. But
That Joe Mevo breaking
yeah,
it down.
yeah. I've just been
Well
through that
done.
stupid tunnel so many times.
The famous Fred the Hippo has joined us. What's up, Fred? How you doing?
Oh, Fred.
Let's see. Gordon updates everybody. The Mevo app was updated, but not the Multicam app. So that makes sense for the feature I think that we're looking at. All right. Let's see.
I just see.
Sam
Sorry,
says,
I can't see where you're at in chat because I'm watching your show instead.
oh, okay.
But it says Norman. I'm from Texas. I can't relate to New York traffic. That's fair.
Nice.
Sorry.
Enjoy that. Enjoy that. Sam says, yeah, walk-up songs at the ballpark always cause problems. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, right?
It's very annoying.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like if someone's not making money, I don't understand it, right? If they're not trying to monetize the content, then I think I don't.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a legal person. I guess I fully don't. I guess I wouldn't care if it was mine. But
Jared says, Joe, what's the most cameras you've had connected for one stream? Just curious.
you've probably done more than me, just because I don't really challenge it. I don't really like you've probably done more than me for sure. I think for me, maybe 6 or 7. I mean, maybe 8 max, but that was because of the show, right? In the warehouse, we had them all over the place.
Yeah. Right.
But like me personally, I've not really pushed it further than that, and that was all via NDI. So
I've done 9 Mevos via NDI to OBS, and then I've done 11 Mevos on earlier builds of the Multicam app. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hopefully we can release that in the final version at some point. Jack says, oh, he's talking to somebody else. Dude, weaving in and out of the replies is tricky.
Tough.
Let's see. Jonathan says, thanks for all the insights. I actually have to pay attention at work now.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the goal. And not to mention, if you can't catch us while you're at work or something, all these videos are saved to YouTube at Mevo Camera.
Yeah.
So you can find all of our live shows, our past live shows, all there. So you can always. I don't recommend going too far back, just because, to be honest, most questions are probably asked almost every other show. So I would recommend, if you do want to if you just like our voices, go ahead. But past like 5 shows in the past, I wouldn't go further than that, just because some data could be outdated, some information could be different. But if you're just bored, I'm not going to tell you not to. I like the analytics. I like all that viewership. I think what did we do? We did like.
Sure.
It was like 1 point something million minutes or something viewed in the last quarter. It was something wild. Yeah, I'm like,
crazy.
yeah,
we appreciate
absolutely.
you guys.
But at the same time, I'm just like walking around and I'm just like, I'm a big deal. People know me. Hello, how you doing?
People just walk up to Joe all the time and ask him if he's Joe Mevo.
Yeah.
He's had to start telling people that he's not.
My family definitely teased me about it. It's kind of funny. Yeah, no, they have like. What was another thing too? So my mom's significant other has he was on Facebook and he had a suggestion to add Joseph Pisani, and on Facebook it's Joseph P. Mevo. So he looked at me. I'm here, and this happened while I was here in Ohio, and he's like, that's not Joe Mevo. I know him. And I was just like, jeez Louise, I can't. You guys are too much.
He's the imposter Joe.
Yeah. I mean, we get confused anyways during meetings. It's Joseph. I mean, Joseph. I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, we've got Joe, a Joseph, and then a mix of both of you. We got a JP,
Which is
Joseph
hilarious
Pisani.
that it's JP, because like I thought at first it was Joseph Pisani. I think it was JP. I was like, what, Joseph Pisani? I'm like, oh no, you're talking about.
Yeah,
Gotcha. You're talking about JP. Yeah, wild. And then a far left, far out of the uniformity. It's Greg. We've got Greg. Gotta love it. Good team. Yeah,
nice and
great team.
random.
Great team.
Let's see. Jason says, Will, when you did a remote multicam show at the baseball field,
Big throwback.
throwback, what was the mesh network that you did use? So I used Orbi routers. I only used one, but you could definitely use two. And it worked really well. It specifically worked really well because of the battery pack that I was using, but yeah, you could definitely do it with a couple of battery packs. Ben says, I use Caster and they have chat available
Okay,
as
cool.
well. Nailed it.
We know things. I knew that. I just misunderstood.
Norman says, for multicam streaming, I need to enable RTMP3. Single cam was fine.
No idea.
I don't know. Okay. Leo says, the YouTube error could have been on my part. Well, I'm definitely interested to find out. I'm certainly going to look into it because I think on my personal account, I have like one subscriber and it may be myself. So I'll definitely test that out.
That's great.
Let's see. Ben says, I have been searching on YouTube, help, and the Google, nice, and have not found anything on the RTMP limits. Okay. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully it's just not a thing.
Yeah. Mark says, how's the quality of the video if you are panning back and forth to capture a baseball game? The quality of the video, if you're moving the camera, I mean, you can turn on image stabilization and it'll be better, but the more pixels that change, the more kind of bandwidth are required. So if you're just kind of constantly going back and forth, it might start to pixelate a bit.
Yep.
Fred Hippo says, how did Joe do the camera effect? How can I check if Mevo is still under warranty? So, Joe has his cool bokeh effect courtesy of Skype. So you can do that with Skype, but we also found out that you can do that with Nvidia Broadcast. You can do that in OBS. You can do that in Zoom and in Google Meets.
We really need to create an article for Streamlabs, by the way. I was doing a training session with Logitech, and I was showing them like, okay, these are all the platforms we support for NDI. We've got them all linked, and I'm just like, okay, we don't have Streamlabs. I'm like, we're gonna have to make sure we change that.
Yeah. Something we got to do.
Oh, as far as the warranty goes, if you're within the U.S., you get a 1-year warranty, and then the European Union is good for 2 years. Everywhere else is 1 year.
Nice. Frank says, how can you do lower thirds and bugs with the Multicam app? So the Multicam app has the ability to do all the same graphics as the Mevo 2.0 app. You can select the... Gotta get Multicam out. But basically you can tap the blue plus button, and that'll bring you to an option that has camera, and then an option that has graphics, or I think it's overlays. And then you can press that, and then you can select lower thirds or over the shoulder or corner bug or whatever you want. It's very easy. Okay. Norman says, I'm from Texas. I don't... Oh, yep. There we go. See, you jumped so far ahead,
I'm watching it right now, and I started laughing because Fred says it's the giveaway Mevo under warranty, just wondering. And I'm just like, oh, gosh.
Nice. Let us know. Let us know
Yeah,
if
of
it's
course.
all
You
good, and we'll
of course
definitely help
it's
you out.
we'll cover that for a year for sure. And I mean even yeah, just get a hold of us. If there is an issue with any of the cameras, just let
Yeah,
us know, and we'll take care of it.
yeah. If it was dropped, we may not be able to help out, but everything else,
Yeah, and
let
if you
us
try
know.
to do like DIY repairs
Um,
and stuff, probably not going to help with that either.
yeah. What are the features currently being tested for Multicam?
Yeah,
They're a
no,
secret,
we're not going to.
unfortunately.
Can't tell our secrets.
Ben says, what features for Multicam do you plan to release next? How do you establish priority? So, we can't talk about the features, but there are some really cool ones that we're always working on. And we establish priority by getting feedback from the customers and testing things to see what seems cool and works really well and what we like. And we also do different feedback directly from the app.
Hmm.
So lots of different
Yeah.
ways.
Also, maybe it's time we do. Maybe we release our user testing document again. Because I know Nate is trying to do user testing. So if that continues to be a thing, then we could get even more Mevo users involved with our user tests for all of the Logitech products, not just Mevo. But maybe we should post that in the groups again.
Leo says, get an intern to log questions and then put the notes into the YouTube description. Then we can search the channel for
I wish it
answers.
would be that easy, but we don't have interns.
We don't have
I
interns,
wish that.
sorry. But that would be very nice for sure. Fred says, how far ahead does the Mevo plan their big ideas? Pretty
Yeah.
far. Pretty far, yeah. Because it takes time to create and test and
Yeah, I mean, like the
all that
very
stuff.
first
So,
alpha build we got of Multicam was like 6 to 8 months before anyone ever even seen it. Um,
yeah.
and then obviously before we even launched it, we already knew we had other things, but we were just like, I think it's usable now, and some people could use it without these features, and we can just add those later. And like and then there's even more stuff that pops up. So it's pretty far out. There's really obviously not a set timeline, but uh, yeah, lots of really cool stuff coming though. I'm excited.
Yeah. Mark says, can you stream at a different resolution than you record to the SD card? I would probably stream at 720, but I would like to capture at 1080. Yeah, using the Mevo app for
Hmm.
sure.
It's actually higher quality. Like, so like you can stream
Mm-hmm.
even if you said if you even did 1080p as the stream, it's still limited at typically about 6 megabytes per second. That's the cap. So that's the bit rate. If you're recording, you can do 1080, and then you can go up to 50 megabytes per second. So the bit rate's significantly higher. The quality would be a little bit, not a little bit, significantly sharper. If you put it side by side, you should be able to tell. I that's another thing. I should write that
Mm-hmm.
down. Like maybe I should get like do a side by side and like embed a video to show people what the difference is. Like they used to do it with the 1080 and
Yeah,
4K. They used to have those split down the center in the stores, and you would see. That's how they were trying to sell 4K to people.
yeah. It's a good idea. I like that. Norman says, imagine that filming baseball is hard because people are so far away. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have like a headshot of the person, yeah, it's probably tricky. But if you want a shot of the whole field,
Yep.
then you're good.
And then you got three pack too. So put one at first base, third base, and home plate, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Um, when streaming, my church program has talking, singing, and music. Cool. It's a good way of doing it. Yeah, but beware on the music front. Make sure that it's your own original music, otherwise you'll have those issues that we were talking about earlier. Cool, cool, cool. Is there anyone working on external device to increase the zoom on the multicam? So I don't think that that would be possible. Lots of people have talked about how like they would love to have, add-on lenses and whatnot to the Mevo, but I think that that would be a very difficult engineering undertaking for somebody to set up with like a 3D printer. All right. Fred says I'd be first in line for an internship. We'll take you up on that, Fred.
Wink.
And wink,
can't,
yeah.
can't be making any
Thank you.
statements that are crazy like that.
We would
I
love
would,
interns though,
yeah,
for
I wonder
sure.
what the process is to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Andy C says, does the tally light work for NDI into OBS? When I try, the tally light is constantly on with 3 cameras.
Should work.
Yeah. So I think with NDI and OBS, I think it's on the whole
It might,
time because it's constantly
yeah,
being used by
exactly.
OBS.
So that's what's important is that video feed actively being pulled. If it is, it's going to be the tally light will be on.
Yeah. Cool. Any chance on putting a mirrored lens in the camera? The body is long enough. I mean, it's not really long enough, really, when you think about it. You got to think about the battery that's
Yeah, there's
inside
a
there.
lot of stuff going on. That whole top section is not just lens and sensor.
Yeah. Nathan says, can I stream live with 2 different Mevos? Yeah, absolutely. You can use the Multicam app to use both Mevos to stream live and switch
Yeah,
between
and if you're
them.
trying to do like if you're trying to have 2 separate feeds, then yeah, you just have to start each feed separately. So there's no limit. You would just
Yeah.
use them as individual units if that was the case, and disconnect from one and go to connect to the other and start the stream there. Of course, if you're trying to use your mobile device as a hotspot, then no, you can't use 2 at the same time for 2 separate streams. So
Right.
there are some like small caveats, but like it's a very very small use case.
Yep. He follows it up with, can I stream live with 2 different Mevo brands? So you can do 2 different Mevos, whether they're a Mevo Start, Mevo Plus, or Mevo First Gen, but you couldn't stream live using a Mevo camera and a Mevo Golf camera. That would not work out.
Oh, too good.
Okay, so let me run through our shows and our referral program really quickly, and then we will wrap up. Okay, so we have shows twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find us at Mevo Camera. And on Tuesday, you'll see one of us, and we'll be using one of the Mevo apps directly. And on Thursday, we'll be using more of a complex setup like we're using today. It's going through different types of programs that use the Mevo and do all sorts of cool effects like Joe's background bokeh. We also have a referral program that is found at mevo.com/referral, and this is a cool program that allows you to refer someone to purchase a Mevo using a custom referral code of your very own, and you'll save them 5% and you'll earn 5% commission on that purchase. So I do highly recommend checking that out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining Joe and I. If you have any questions that were not answered live, we have a great help section at help.mevo.com. And if you can't find your answer there, open up a ticket and one of us will help you one-on-one. All right, everybody. We will see you next week on Tuesday.
Yes. See you,
Have a
everyone.
great weekend.